Before we get started today, though, of course, got to give a shout out to Prize Picks, the sponsors of the Title Picture podcast. Do you know what I was doing the other day?
Go on.
Taking a look at the old list of UFC champions, as we often do.
Yeah, you love those.
How many of them are wrestlers right now?
How many of them are wrestlers?
Uno.
The singular one.
Uno.
Islam.
And he's been turning himself into like a lethal southpaw kickboxer.
I thought you said he's turning himself into a leaf.
What, like a Pokemon?
Yeah. I genuinely...
Razor leaf. The point is, though, he's knocking people out with his left leg, isn't he?
Yes, he is, yeah.
Slamming it into bodies.
Is he, though?
He's not abandoning. That's not the word I would use.
Did you watch his last fight?
Exactly. Yeah, he just held down.
I was just talking generally. Overall, he's become a very effective kickboxer as well.
Yes.
He's a mixed martial artist.
He is, yeah.
Let's leave it there. The point is, we have had several eras where wrestlers were extremely dominant, controlled people, and I don't know if the conversation about wrestling being boring is louder than it has ever been, because
it's so boring.
There we go, from a striker. But that's fine. No, we want the input. This is true. That being said, is it people adjusting their style because they know that just winning fights purely isn't good enough? Because we know that we have examples of fighters who were wrestlers and didn't lose and still got kicked out of the UFC. Or are strikers just getting that much more elite at what they do? Is the topic I would like to talk about today, I guess. Oh, yes, very good. I know you can speak to, personally being a coach and also being in the top Muay Thai gym in the country, how good the level of striking is getting, just in this country alone. Yep. But you've seen an evolution in the level of strikers over the years anyway, right?
Yeah, massively so. I'm naturally probably going to be quite biased on this topic of conversation.
Excellent.
But the main point there I think you just brought up is that winning fights by being a nut sniffer, a very talented nut sniffer, isn't really enough, though, is it? Like, it's not what people want to watch. Like, now I'm in an organisation where, again, it's one championship. It's the same thing. Even if you win, but you're, like, not that fun to watch, it doesn't really get you very far.
Yeah.
Being exciting is kind of the be-all and end-all in a sport that is... It's entertainment. Especially now it's been signed with Paramount+. Like, does that incorporate more casual viewers that just want to watch it because they're being entertained? It's hard to appreciate because, again, okay, I can say, I don't like wrestling, it's boring. I couldn't wrestle in a million years. I've tried, I failed. It's so hard. But for viewership, it's not fun to watch.
It's so refreshing to have an active fighter say it's boring and it's about entertainment, because that is not only my angle, I think that's an angle we kind of share on this show.
Do you know what? It's difficult because it's not, I wouldn't say it's like boring. It's just that there are fighters that are taking the path of least resistance to win a fight. So you're implementing a game plan that is going to guarantee you a win. And I think it's a fucking sport. So that's what you need to do. You know, what is your goal is you need to win. What's the best way that you can win? If you can hold a dude down or a girl down for 15 or 25 minutes and kiss him, then why?
Like Tyson Fury.
Yeah, like Tyson Fury. Then why, then why not? If you know that the fighter in front of you...
It's fucking boring. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, but the fight, you're not thinking... Okay.
It's 3 a.m. I don't want to see him wrestle.
From your point of view, though, if, I don't know, in a striking battle, there is a weakness that is in front of you, are you not going to exploit the weakness?
Of course you are.
Just because it's for instance, leg kicks, all right? Lots of people might find leg kicks boring, for example. But if it's there in front of you, are you not going to... I don't know. I'm just saying from a point of view. You know?
We've actually got the same issue over in Thai box. If I completely go, sorry guys, I'm taking it over here again. We've got the same argument that's happening over on our side because people go, the cynics will go, one championship is ruining Thai boxing because it has changed the sport. If you look at Thai boxing in the stadiums where it's your 5 rounds, that style looks completely different to one, and people are fighting more like one championship rules now, which is essentially killing old traditional Thai. And this is an argument that we have over here of the old traditional Thai, forgive me, sorry, isn't as entertaining and as fun to watch as it is in one championship. 4 ounce gloves. It's essentially becoming like aggressive kickboxing with clinch and elbows.
Right.
But it's the same argument that's happening here, where at the end of the day, yes, it sucks that we're having to change the sport, but also does it not massively benefit growing the sport? Because at the end of the day, we all want to get paid. We want our sport to grow. We want the viewership. We want fans. We want all of the things that need to happen comes from being entertaining. So is it worth sacrificing out with the old, in with the new? is that the same argument that we've got over at MMA? Because, okay, I will hold my hands up and say, compared to you guys, I am much more of a casual MMA fan. Like, I don't know half the shit you guys are on about. And as someone that, like, okay, you put it on, and as soon as there's, like, a face and ass, like, I'm like, oh, I'm bored.
You love that stuff.
Wait,
No,
what
not
move is that?
really.
The face and arse, yeah.
face and arse
It seems to
takedown.
be all I watch. I genuinely went to watch, I literally watched one once where they've got, like, their hands, he's got his own hands around his own feet, and it's just bumhole. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I wouldn't be like, guys, this is my, like, I'm bored and I'm a bit icked out.
Well, I mean,
I'd rather
I'm a
watch
bit
stand-up.
icked out.
I'm a bit- it's a
Do you
bit
think the
icky.
bumhole wrestlers then should be embarrassed of what they're doing?
I wouldn't date one.
true.
I wouldn't be like, guys, let's all get together in the pub and watch my fella show his asshole to the ceiling for 25 minutes. Probably not.
None of them
Sorry,
are.
love, what's your sport?
No,
Nothing.
MMA.
Whereas you
There's
love that.
there's a
You
lot
love
more.
the face, the bumhole.
Well,
takedown,
no, I like just kicking people
Yeah.
in the liver. If I
And I
can.
know that's
That's,
cynical and probably really harsh, and I feel
Yeah.
like I'm not really.
But no,
Well-
that's a really interesting point though, from like a professional fighter, but he's also more of a casual. Because I'd say
Yeah.
most fighters are casual viewers of the sport. There's so many fighters say, I don't really watch UFC or MMA that much. I'm just in the sport, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I think Lon was saying the other day, he was like, I don't really know too much of the fighters in the UFC.
Yeah.
I'm just fighting in
I
the
think a
UFC.
lot of fighters are like that. I don't know if it's because in their downtime they just don't want to think about fighting and don't watch a lot of it, especially if it's outside their division.
Yeah.
It's almost like I imagine if you were a soldier and you went to war and you came back, you wouldn't watch more war and just be like, "This is great. I love this."
But also, like, as this is a fan podcast, that opinion is what a lot of most fans
Yeah.
have. It's only maybe there's a small and really healthy hardcore audience who props up the sport and gives it all the respect and props that it deserves. But the majority of people that are watching it they want to see some crazy shit.
Yeah.
But
They
that's
want
not
to
to
see some
say
big
that
knockouts.
wrestling across the board is really boring. It's the grab and hold down.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really
Lay and
boring.
pray.
Yeah.
Like when you're watching like impressive chain wrestling sequences,
Yeah.
that blows my mind. As well as you watch like active BJJ, you think,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
God, that's like. But it's the grab and hold.
It's the against the cage, kneeing the thigh,
So here's
Yeah.
the
doing the little shoulders and the little tippy tap
Yeah, like, what is
punches
that-
and
Just to add on to that real quick, just because you have been watching The Ultimate Fighter, and there's been 2 fights on there that stand out. Christian Strong fought Marlon Jones, who's the FCC champ, and he just held him down. And it was in that second round where DC was just like, just hold him down, you're going to win. And Dana White was literally like, what the hell did DC just say?
Yeah.
But then we watched...
He's a businessman.
Exactly. But then we watched another fight in the last episode where it was a lot of grappling, but it was really high paced and lots of reversals, and it was actually entertaining. So
I think obviously this past weekend, we had Ankalaev versus Guskov, and last week we were talking about him as an Ankalaev as an entertainer is almost like non-existent.
yeah.
But this fight this past weekend was widely considered incredibly dull because Ank had Guskov in many opportunities to just go for the finish, and especially on the ground in like the last round. He obviously did get that finish in the end, but it was so lethargic in trying to there was no urgency. And I suppose that's a really interesting question. It's just how fans want urgency, fighters I'm assuming don't. You want methodical precision.
I don't know.
What do you think?
Both. I think that we should all, as fighters, okay, we've got this thing where we're like, we're fighters, which, yes, of course, but at the end of the day, fighters are entertainers. We're entertainers. You go back even to the gladiator age. You weren't there for anything other than to entertain. It's the same sort of thing. And I think if we knock down a little bit of that pride and we prioritise growing the sport and being fun to watch, everything snowballs in such a more positive way. There's like a reason why. Okay, there you go. If the whole pride element was a whole putting your life on the line and doing X, Y, Z, why is football that massive? Why is football a huge sport?
Yeah.
No one's dying in that. And actually, if you look at the two sports, like fighting is so much more entertaining than a footy match will ever be.
Yeah. Anything can happen at any point. I think that's
We
a big
have
thing.
to accept that that's what we're there for. Okay, apart from your friends and your family that are in the crowd, people that tune in to watch you are there to watch, to be entertained. And I think so many of us are so concerned with getting the win any way we can, which I do agree. Okay, records are important, but you're not necessarily going to snowball and turn into a star or be up there, or if you're not fun
I
to
think there's a
watch.
really tricky seesaw, isn't it? Because obviously,
is.
as the job, you are a prize fighter. You're going in there to get the other half of your paycheck sort of thing.
Yeah.
So if you don't win, the stakes are kind of really big.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's this attachment now where, because fighting is so popular nowadays, if you're the guy, if you're a McGregor or a Adesanya or Pereira or someone who got to that level where you've got these extremely lucrative contracts, you know you can get to that point. Yeah. However, it feels like maybe the UFC is still quite predatory with how much they do actually pay. So if you're Ankalaev and you're only getting a couple of 100,000, whereas in boxing with someone with a similar record could maybe get a couple million, it's really important to get all that paycheck you can.
There's no show and win, is there? It's like in the UFC, you're still... I mean, Nathaniel Wood talks about this all the time as well. He's like, when I'm in that third round and I'm up 2, I'm probably not going to try and go for the finish because I know that I'm going to get double my pay if I just stall out the final round.
I completely didn't even consider that, actually.
Yeah, but I think urgency is the key word you said, because you've got guys like Khabib, obviously, who were trying to finish people on the ground. Even like Walter Walker, that's his name, isn't it?
Yeah.
He just got another, five leg lock finishes in a row. I mean, this one was a calf slicer, so he has urgency to finish. I don't know, just speaking from experience I've had in the gym and hard sparring, I've been on the feet with someone and maybe I've like chopped them out with a leg kick, but they were beating me up and they went down, and I'm not a grappler, but I jumped on them because I was getting beaten up, and I'm like, I don't want to stay on the feet with this person because even though I'm not much of a grappler. So I wonder how much there is some of that as well. Like, you literally feel like you're not comfortable and you want to take the fight to another area. And I know there's going to be loads of people commenting anyway before you even comment, saying, if you don't like it, don't watch. But it's just like, you know, sometimes fighters make decisions in fights for their own survivability as well, and they maybe not even want to grapple.
Which is the most powerful thing that there is, because at the end of the day, if you're about to get absolutely clattered on camera, you're probably not going to be considering viewership. You're trying to stay alive.
And the relief I felt...
Consider the pay thing.
Sorry to interrupt. The relief I felt when that person went down, and I was like, oh, good jump on him, because I was getting beaten. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, thank fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I suppose it's with people like Ankalaev, though. It's like he was dominating the whole fight from, you know, round 1 to round 5, and there was virtually no urgency in him to get that fight finished.
Not in the striking, at least. I think he did a bit better once he got to the ground. He was actually putting ground and pound out. It wasn't very effective.
But it wasn't Khabib ground and pound, was it?
I don't know.
It wasn't like this guy's going to try and smash you to fucking pieces.
As a notorious hater of Ankalaev, I felt when we texted a little bit while it was on, I felt you were being overly hard. Well, I thought he did quite well on the ground.
I don't know.
It was actually reverse of this conversation. It was the stand-up that was bothering me, because Guskov was just clearly running away. He didn't want it. And then Ankalaev has this slow one leg kick.
Get in there, lad.
Yeah, it's like put a combo together. Like, cut him off, put a combo together, press him against the cage, then throw. Like, I'd do something more than is just like, oh, I'm winning.
I think also maybe we're spoiled with, when it comes to like larger weight classes as well, they're just going to be slower. And then when you have someone like Joshua Van, who just goes in there and just throws a million fucking punches a second. How many fucking strikes are you throwing, like in a
300 in 3 minutes?
Significant strikes as well, which was mad.
And so that's, as an audience, as a viewer, it's really hard to go, okay, I've just watched Mia's fight where I watched her throw a billion fucking strikes, and then you go over to, you know, a wrestling match in an MMA cage, and you go like, well, I guess so. Like, is this, you know?
But it's also that question, just to bring it back round to the start, is like, is it even like taking people to the highest level of the sport anymore? Like, if you completely focus on wrestling as your game plan, and in your training camp you prioritize that over striking, and you get to the top of the division, there's guys who are better strikers, and it's literally proven right now that the better strikers who can stop takedowns are winning the championship belts. So it's like, is it even that beneficial? Unless you're a Khabib, is it even that beneficial to try and make that your sole game plan, not just from a monetary and popularity perspective?
I mean, I think that's been disproven by, you know, some of the best wrestlers ultimately finally getting sparked out, and people celebrate it as well.
Yeah. I'm just talking about now that the level of the strikers is increasing. You can look at the past.
So it's like ups and downs, it's waves of the sport, right?
Could be that as well.
So I don't know.
I think it's difficult because obviously we just had Chimaev come about. He'd become champion, didn't he? With an extremely dominant wrestling performance, the exact performance you would hate. Do you know if you saw that at the time? But it was No, he's got his opponent in side control and in a crucifix position, which is an extremely dominant position and a great finishing position as well.
And it didn't do anything with the crucifix.
Kind of just held it, and he was able to secure that position multiple rounds. Like he completely dominated the guy, and didn't seem a will to finish for some reason. But then he fought Sean Strickland, tried a very similar game plan. We know what Chimaev's going to do. He's going to come out first round, take you down, try and choke you out in the first round, which is normally how things go.
Yeah.
And then couldn't do that, and then had to resort to the striking. But then again, would Chimaev have fought the same if he didn't have such a bad weight cut? Was it his wrestling that let him down because he couldn't implement what he wanted to on Sean, or was it just the weight cut? Would Chimaev still be a champion? So can you say wrestling doesn't work as well as anymore because it might have done on a different day?
Because if you've had a bad weight cut, the first thing that goes is your squeeze.
Yeah.
Like if you've had a bad cut, you couldn't open a jar like that. You can't do that. You can still be quite crisp in your striking, but you lose your ability to squeeze. Like your central nervous system gets quite fried. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would agree it could be singularly performance based if there weren't 12 of 13 champions that are strikers. Do you know what I mean? You can look at an isolated case, but when you look at across the board, like everyone's a freaking striker.
But then again, maybe it's a cultural / business forced decision to be like, we are going to promote you if you have crazy, insane fights.
Don't they? Thank you to our sponsor Prize Picks for this episode of The Title Picture. If you want to get involved with Prize Picks, very simple. All you do is go ahead, download the app, have a look at the statistics on the screen, make some picks, and you can win yourself some prizes. Have a look at it today. It's available in a bunch of different states: Texas, California, Florida. So go ahead, download the app, pick some prizes, win some fun stuff, right?
So the best of all of this, there is a new user offer today. Play $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. And all you need to do is use the code HMA when you sign up.
This is where I rate Paddy's performance against Gaethje. That could have been a different fight and he could have taken that win if he was more willing to attempt going to the ground, but he chose to give us an entertaining fight instead. And I rate that.
Do you think he chose that? Or do you think that it was just because Gaethje was so good at not letting him anywhere fucking near him as well?
But was there even an attempt? Did he try it and go, fuck, that's not working, okay, I'll stay on the feet? Did he even try?
I mean, I think there maybe
there must have been.
There must have been a couple, but he's also not classically a guy that shoots takedowns. So he usually, people shoot on him or he gets throws from clinch positions.
Maybe it was more of a case of embracing what was happening.
But I think you're right as well. Like
I'm glad that fight looked like that.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'd rather, as a fighter, take a fight like that and gain the respect of the world,
which is what happens,
and entertain, than be in a boring fight, but I got the win.
Yeah.
And especially within a title fight as well.
Because that's what people want to watch. And that was one that, like, I feel like the world watched that.
Yeah.
I feel like more people, not even like people beyond casuals, I think that was potentially an introduction fight for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's what they want to see.
Yeah, and it's also a good example because Gaethje only wrestled at the start of his very, very start of his career, and then he was like, "This isn't what people want to see, so I'm just going to change." And now again, he's the champion, and he's not wrestling.
Were excited that Piotr Jan took the belt away from Merab then 100%. for that reason. It's like, okay, we're going to get Piotr Jan stand up fucking kickboxing fights again.
Not only that, is the way Merab looks so dominant in all of his fights. He obviously has that insane. He's a bit of a cardio merchant, isn't he? Like he has such an insane gas tank that he can throw combinations on the feet and then dip down for a takedown just to get you on the ground, and then we'll throw combinations.
He'll take loads of damage to get it as well.
So Merab's wrestling style is more exciting, and I think he knows that. I think that's maybe what went wrong in the Yan fight, is that he didn't take a pressure heavy, stop you, stall you out, take you down and ground you. He's very much just get you thinking about the takedown, and then tries to throw strikes. But the fact that what Jan did was so impressive with his performance, to have that win over a guy that everyone was calling a goat and things like that. But again, now with Jan, like you say, we're going to have striking battles. He's got a bunch of great names to fight that will all want to strike with him. And you have things baked in like a Sean O'Malley rematch and stuff. So that people are going to be way more inherently...
back in the main event
of course. And it's going to be way more inherently exciting. Because the Sean versus Jan was a close fight to begin with, wasn't it?
It's true. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Why not run that back? Rather than, an older wrestle-based guy, let's have our young star come back in.
I think if you want to look at it logically, like if you're going to go into the UFC and be a wrestler, it's going to take you twice as long to get to the top of the division because you're not going to get pushed. So arguably, you're only going to prolong your career, potentially take more damage for a style that you feel like is safer. But actually, if it takes you 10 fights instead of 5.
And that's a really good point. And here's a question for you. What's the last wrestling moment the standout wrestling moment where you go, wow, what a highlight for that?
Matt Hughes.
It's crazy.
Honestly, yeah.
Who was it
about for you?
Who's the this is my casual fan. Who's the dude that talks loads to the camera when he's like Kevin? Is it called Kevin?
Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
Right. Who did he get ragged about by?
Chimaev.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That opening sequence was one of the times I went,
Oh,
"Ooh,
yeah.
that's very good." But then that was train wrestling.
Yeah.
And you actually brought up a really good point. And as a fighter, initially, I pushed back on that and thought, that's horrendous. No. Bringing back knees to the head on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Initially, damage point of view, you go, I really don't ever want that. But then you made a great point of it would stop the stalling.
Yeah.
And it would keep wrestling a little bit more entertaining
Yeah,
if people were
100%.
more reluctant to hold that
Yes,
position. Which actually, now I'm for it.
Yeah, Chimaev might have finished DDP if he could have just kneed him in the head a couple of times.
That's a good point, yeah.
And also, I still believe that, like, okay, unless you're against the cage, it's a little different. Taking a flying knee is more devastating than taking a knee on the ground. Like, if your head gets trapped in a position, sure, but if you take a devastating knee on the ground, the ref's not going to let you take like 20 of them.
No.
They'll end it after like 3 or 4.
It is interesting. It's like when you look back at the really historical moments, like Mark Kerr going for a takedown on Igor Vovchanchkin. And it was illegal at the time as well.
Yeah.
But like that completely fucked Mark Kerr
Yeah.
in the long run. It's just got kneed in the head.
Yeah,
like,
sprawled on.
brutally.
Yeah, but
Neat.
was that a confidence thing though?
No, I think he just got fucking kneed in the head.
No, you said infected him in the long run.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think when you get battered and kneed in the fucking head and
Yeah.
knocked out like that.
Yeah, you're kind of robbed and cheated out.
Especially if your whole life and your whole career you are you're the smashing machine, and your whole life and gimmick is that you smash people and you are unbeatable. And then you have a fight come along where you get kneed in the fucking head and knocked out.
What about all the drug abuse and all that, the depression?
That goes
like,
hand in hand with all of those
sure, and the
things as
loss.
well.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's going to work heavily hand in hand with all of his abuse issues as well. So
That's
I don't
true.
know, psychologically. Yeah, I think you're totally right.
I think
Back knees.
if there are people who are going to complain when we complain that wrestling is boring, then we should be able to complain that we want knees back on the ground.
you
And
watch
the people who are going to complain it's too brutal.
Do you
can
watch
shut the
RAF?
fuck up. Yeah, I do watch the RAF fights.
Do you enjoy
yeah.
that?
I don't mind it, but I watch like the jiu-jitsu competitions. Like I like grappling. I find BJJ comps are more entertaining than wrestling in MMA most of the time.
Do you watch RAF?
No.
Well, do you know what I find really fascinating about it? Yeah, okay, that's that then. Do you know what I find really fascinating about it though? Is that I see more, the things that I see clipped on social media are the brawls that happen.
Yeah, true.
Than the
Yeah.
actual wrestling.
Yeah, true.
I go, oh, what happened this weekend at RAF? Oh, Sarukin got in another fucking brawl afterwards. Or, you know, Chimaev is fighting Dylan Danis like after the. I actually have not seen the highlights of
Some
of
great
the match.
takedowns. Yeah.
I've only seen the brawl where they get to punch each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing that
Because that's the thing that only anyone's actually interested in. It's
the
like,
whole-
oh shit, someone threw a fucking punch.
three star yeah,
That's
like the
such a
whole
good
3-star wrestling thing is not for me. I've not grown up in America where it's like it's you're taught it at school if you like you want it. So I just that is like kind of sport in its own. That's like me tuning into tennis. Like I don't need to see it just because there's a face I know who's in the UFC who's now doing a bit of wrestling on the side. I don't care. I'm not subbed for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, when Arman knees that guy on the head on the ground, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So it's like that's what got my attention. I was like, oh, Arman's doing crazy Arman things again. Not that he wrestled him 7-0 and then kneed him. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
But then it's also not to say that we want the UFC to become completely striking.
No.
Because it does still need to be
Yeah.
MMA.
That's the
It's just
argument,
the hold. It's the stagnant fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why the knees would arguably.
But here's the major thing that I think we've spoken about this recently though as well, is if you are betting on a fight, and we did basically what I'm doing now to engage in the fights more than I ever have done is I give Jess I give her all the stats, and she's not emotionally invested in, so she'll go through all the stats of the fighters and she'll pick who she thinks going to win in sort of like a autistic Rain Man way.
And she's really good at it.
And she's really good at it. And it was Tai Tuivasa versus Louis Sutherland. And she bet on Louis Sutherland to win. I was like, what are you doing? There's no way that Tai Tuivasa is gonna lose to Louis Sutherland. But what happened is Louis held him down for 3 straight rounds, and it was an incredibly dull fight. But guess what? I was sat there going, hold him down! and desperate to hope that he gets to the end. And then Louis wins the fight by just holding him. And there we are celebrating that we've just won our £5.50 or whatever bet on the thing. And excitement was created via the wrestling.
Gambling.
I've never been so invested in
excitement wasn't made by the wrestling. It was the potential chance
The
you would get
stakes.
£5.50.
I will say though, like every time Ty looked like he was going to try and roll out of it, and maybe Louis got a back take, I was all for it. I was like, yes, lad, hold him down.
I don't know if that's a healthy way to approach the sport.
I know it's terrible. Yeah, it's a really embarrassing way to try and inject incitement back into the.
If you need that to make stagnant wrestling fun,
Yeah.
it says enough.
That's actually
True.
Run over everything you just said.
Look, I'm here to try and offer different opinions.
I've never watched Robbie Lawler and thought, I need to bet on this like immediately because this is
true,
fucking.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. There's not many things where I have to think.
Yeah.
I got to bet now because otherwise I can't.
Otherwise you just wouldn't watch it, wouldn't you? You'd just be like,
I was going to ask you though, as someone who is a pure striker and has gone into the world of grappling, even momentarily, what was your experience like? Because I imagine a lot of strikers really don't want to have to learn wrestling anyway. Like,
because it's shit. That's why.
Well, the thing, maybe I'm
effective.
It's just hard.
shitting on wrestlers because I'm bitter that I can't do it. That might be that. I think I went into it with some sort of ego thinking, well, I got that good at striking in a matter of 5 years. I'll be fine. I got fucked. I spent those 6 months with my own head inside my own ass. Like, you know, when I had like, I swear to God, in that gym, right, there's like a 13-year-old girl that must weigh like 40 kilo. And I was like, yeah, nope. I got absolutely battered. It's really hard. And I felt like I was also getting worse. Only because I obviously wasn't. I was getting better, but also the horizon of things that I didn't know was getting broader.
Yeah.
And I think I went in thinking, okay, I'll learn this, especially how it was pitched to me.
Yeah.
Because we planned on having that turnaround really quick. I was giving myself, a year to go, because obviously because of the striking history, I had to go pro. And I thought, yeah, okay, they went, I'll learn these 5 things, easy.
Yeah.
And I think I walked in and went, oh, it's not easy. This is actually...
It's a different sport. Like,
it's incredibly intricate. And I also still feel like that in the clinch in some ways.
Yeah.
Like the clinch itself, I don't think is even, it's not striking. Like
It's another dimension.
It's
Despite having that experience, I
can respect it.
You can respect the domination of being able to just physically hold an opponent down for. Yeah. But it's not not entertaining.
Because I was probably part of the crowd that's like, oh my, get up.
Yeah.
No. It doesn't work that way. Apparently it doesn't. So I can, like, as much as I'm sitting and slating it, saying I don't want to watch it, it's boring, I can wholeheartedly respect it.
Yeah.
But I still don't want to watch
so
it.
do you think Zuffa should make a foray into the world of 4-ounce striking with no grappling?
Oh, okay. I thought you said wrestling.
Would you actually watch that?
Yeah.
So what?
Especially if they brought in ex-UFC fighters.
Yeah, 100%.
But the concern with that is it would completely monopolise our entire industry.
Well, they've done that with everything else.
Well, it would also
They're about to
completely
do it on boxing.
devalue the UFC because no one would watch UFC cards. Everyone would watch UFC Strike.
But they're still making money. They're not going to like...
Oh, it doesn't matter to them, but I'm saying it wouldn't be mixed martial arts. It would be...
one of the main things a lot of people say is like, oh, if you don't like MMA, go watch kickboxing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, no one is putting on kickboxing in such an exciting way that the UFC has their production value.
Yeah.
I think if there was UFC or WWE production value in kickboxing in 4-ounce gloves, I think 1,000%
Yeah, I would watch
Level
it.
1 to get bigger over here.
Yeah.
Viewership wise, it is bigger
And
than
it's on a
You have to
great time.
VPN it, though, if you want to watch it.
And that's where it's so frustrating. Why does that not just become more widely available over here? Because all of the complaints that people have about the UFC, I'm not even saying that because I'm in it. The level in One Championship is unbelievable. And again, it's not... Okay, you don't get anywhere in that organisation unless you're exciting. You can be really good at all this shit, but like, unless you're fun to watch, they're not asked.
Yeah.
So every single fight that they've got is fantastic.
You don't forget that for a long time, the biggest combat sport in Asia was K1. K1 was huge. It was bigger than MMA, like, and that was pure stand-up, like, and that was very often 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds. They did big gloves, not small gloves, and everybody loved it, and you had massive superstars coming out of it.
Yeah.
So to think that we can't get back there, like, the promotion just died out, probably because of corruption and shit.
Do you know what?
I
I think that the fact is that wrestling and UFC becoming a global sport as well. You have the introduction of athletes who are so dominant in wrestling in the UFC that it completely overwhelms what we fell in love with in the early 2000s, late 2000s, the UFC, which is just a bunch of guys fucking throwing leather.
Yeah.
Because if you go back and you watch the UFC in like the 2000s, like Chris Lieben was the poster boy.
Yeah.
You weren't gonna. Chris
I
Lieben
love
wasn't gonna
Lieben,
go
bro.
for a takedown, was he?
Lieben's brilliant, though.
But let's be honest, you can't put that style into modern mixed martial arts because he'd get absolutely run over.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't even be in the UFC, Chris Lieben.
No,
let's be honest.
I think this problem, the topic we're discussing will maybe naturally fizzle out as we go on, as people's attention spans get less and less, and you need that viewership. You want these exciting fights. We know for a long time Dana has been cultivating exciting fights. The Contender Series has turned into round 1 knockout place, otherwise you're not getting signed. I know that's maybe not the case nowadays, but point being is that there has definitely been a emphasis on getting finishes or fighting in an exciting way, and maybe we'll see that naturally phase out. But Gable Stevenson, I was
going to say,
the most decorated wrestler there is. We've heard about him and how successful he's been. What did he do in his debut?
Fought like John Jones.
Yes, he come out and outstruck a guy through crazy.
Wait, hold on. You talk about the Snack Panther.
Yeah. He smashed the Snack Panther all over the place.
Snack Panther.
Yeah, that's his nickname.
His opponent was called the Snack Panther.
Almost as good as Pinas.
Yeah, Damien Pinas.
He's sick, Pinas.
I can't wait till he gets to the title fight.
I can't wait to watch more of Pinas. That's great.
Pinas in the main event.
But you're right, though. It's not just him. It's Bo Nickel. He's striking.
Yeah.
Freaking Yoel Romero.
What was he doing?
Abandoned takedowns pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, DC, he obviously kept wrestling, but like when he fought Stipe, he was just freaking boxing him up. Like,
does anyone want to say anything in defense of boring as fuck wrestling?
I like grappling, but I enjoy it more when that's all that's going on.
If it's established, all we're doing is grappling.
It's a BJJ event.
You know what to expect.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
do you know what kills judo though on the world stage is that they have cut down the groundwork because it's viewed as boring.
Nawasa, is that what it's called?
They just want the throws.
Yeah, it's back in the day, you used to have an extended period of time on the ground to try and get those submissions, and then ultimately it'd be stood up. But now you watch judo at the Olympics, and oh my god, they give it no time whatsoever. There is, you're taught a significant amount of groundwork and,
arm bars, kimuras,
submissions and stuff. And they just decided, judo in general, do you know what? Nobody wants to watch this. So let's just change the rules. So when it goes to the ground, you get like 2 or 3 seconds, if not back up.
I don't feel like that would make me want to watch more.
Exactly.
Because people getting chucked over.
Exactly. But that's the point. That's the point, is that if you were to change the rules where we decrease the time on the ground and you not give fighters the time to find submissions because there is a 10 seconds of inactivity, then we should stand it up. It's like it's going to ruin the sport as well.
Yeah. I mean,
you can't do that.
I did love like the 90-minute war of Hoist and Sakuraba.
I think you're the only one.
And that was just them basically lying on the ground. And because it's like the concept, obviously, probably back then. Yeah, back then, obviously. But the whole point is like, there's no time limit. We're going to have a break every so often, but this fight is going to go until it's over. So every slow-paced movement still was going to affect the outcome of that fight because it was never going to end. If you put 15 minutes on it, it's like, well, bloody hell, hurry up, do something. You only got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
When it's like,
no,
there's no time.
I don't need to see
in the counter argument to your argument. That sounds horrendous.
Yeah, I don't want that to be every fight. I'm just using that as a singular example.
Imagine if every fight was 90
No,
minutes long.
no. But a singular example of that was...
They're just pushing exciting fights so much. So you brought it up a minute ago with, haven't they changed the Contender Series?
It feels as if like it was kind of a place to grow grassroots MMA, funneled in with the UFC machine, but now it's over the years it's moved into, this is the place where we get people we want in the promotion who are going to be our new stars, but we kind of give them an opponent where they can get a first round finish.
Because also winning isn't everything. The example I can think of this is Chanel Dyer that just got signed, who actually lost her fight on the Contender Series, but it was that much fun to watch. He went, I still want you.
Yeah.
Which, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, all day long.
Yeah.
But to also defend the fighters that then get in and make it boring and hold, I also can empathise with you not putting yourself in blatant harm's way to be exciting. I get it. Your survival instinct does kick in.
Yeah.
And I get it.
I mean, like, even on the UFC video game, when you get to the Contender Series, it's like, you have to win in the first round, otherwise you won't get signed.
Yeah,
it's just like, how much more obvious they want to make it in that situation. No, you're completely right. The Contender Series is now like, you have to, it's like an audition for a separate sport. Like, we only want excitement, and if you don't deliver, then you ain't getting signed.
But then also, I can now speak from bitter experience. If they keep things on the feet, the finish rate goes down, especially in the women's division, especially in mine. Because I didn't realise how hard it was to actually finish somebody. And I was so frustrated in my last fight that I couldn't. You know, when you're like, what the fuck else do I have to do? What else have I got to hit you with? And it's like, if things have to stay on the feet, I think a lot of, like, especially in the women's division, unless you're Grasso, it's actually quite hard to get a finish. You get, oh, hit like a girl. Yeah, of course, we don't generate as much power, and we don't. The knockouts aren't necessarily there for us at 115.
Yeah.
So does that
You're right.
damage?
But then if you go out there and show everything you have, and you, like, not only did you put a crazy output in your last fight, you took a fuckload of punches and kicks as well. And, like, the fact that you're still dealing with that and still showing a will to win, even though you're feeling like, I don't know what else to do, but I'm going to keep trying. That's what we want to see as fans.
Yeah.
If you went, I can't knock this girl out, fuck it, I'll take her down and lay on her, I'd be like...
Sometimes if a fight's over in...
Like your Chanel Dyer comparison, she lost, but she looked fucking incredible while doing it.
Yeah.
So it is... When you can see that passion in the cage, for me... When I can tell it's now leaning... This sounds really fickle because it is a sport, but it's like when I can see someone's just going for the advantage, or like it's changing from I'm going to beat this guy and show I'm the best, to I'm going to win this fight so I win. Like, I don't know, for me there's a...
Yeah, there's a huge... Okay, there you go, Paddy. How much respect went out to him for just finishing that 5-round fight. I think actually the fight for me that grew my career the absolute most was the one that I lost out in New York, was being knocked down that many times and still getting up to the point where the towel went in and then I'm still raging about it. Like, that probably got me the most, do you want to say clout?
Yeah.
Like, the people, I had even Tyson Fury follow me off that, and like the bit, like, I feel like that gained so much. People would have rather have watched that.
Yeah.
Than it not.
Yeah.
It's like Kaya Sakura when he fought Van, and it's just like he got knocked down again and again and again, but you literally felt the emotion of the inspiration swell within you because he just would not quit.
Fights like that do genuinely
He just wouldn't quit.
Yeah.
It moves you, it inspires you, it's what you want to watch, it's how you want to feel.
Yeah.
It also, moments like that create heroes.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to have, like, the young people watching the telly with their parents trying to get into the sport going, oh, that was good. Like, they're the fights that kids watch and go, I want to be like that.
I also want to throw in
That's a really good point.
Some of the greatest fights of all time, even the Hall of Fame fights, they went the distance. They weren't over in 3 minutes.
Exactly,
Like Gustafsson Jones, Shogun Henderson, I think that one went the distance as well. Weili Joanna. Like, these are all fights that went the full distance, and it was just chaotic back and forward. It's not like
it's the Pride and Rising now, their whole shtick is the warrior spirit, right? And they actually, when you look at who fights on their cards in Rising as well, they have lots of those guys have significant losses, but they're still ultra popular because they showed their warrior spirit in the fight, and people through win or loss want to support them.
That's what K1 was like as well.
Exactly, yeah.
I rate that so much higher than just having a cuddle because it's easier. I know that we put so much pressure on your record, but to what extent does it actually matter that much when a significant loss and a powerful loss and moving moments will catapult your career so much more than just a boring one on
And
your record?
that's a conversation we had 3 weeks ago. How much does it matter being undefeated? How much does that actually
I
matter?
think it's bollocks. I really do think it's bollocks.
Agree.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
No cuddling, and it's bollocks.
Pressure make diamonds, so I'm covered in ice. Got me out for the whole pie, I don't want a slice. In a room full of bad girls, that's not my type. Cause I'm married to the game, baby, that's my wife.